Hey, friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is episode 84 of the Positioning to Profit podcast, and I'm very happy you're here. But first, I want to check in with you. Have you taken advantage of jumping on the Business Trinity workshop? So it's a workshop that I'm hosting for this month where I put together a 4-part video series hosted by me called the Business Trinity. It's the key pillars to have in your business so you can stand out, leverage your time, and build a solid income foundation. Who couldn't use more of that, right? So when you go to positioningtопроfit.com/Trinity, Trinity, you can jump in on that training. And then also, as part of that, you'll also be alerted of an open AMA call. An open office hours. Ask me anything. February 25th at 4 p.m. Central Time. And what's cool about that is if you have questions on your marketing, where you're stuck, the concepts that I cover in the Business Trinity, some ideas that maybe are just like, I don't know, ruminating in your head and you're like, oh, I wonder if I could do this or I wonder if I could do that. Rest assured, I got your back. I'm going to give you the best answer that I can based on my experience. I've been in this coaching deal for quite a few years now, so I'm really comfortable doing AMAs, and I absolutely enjoy them so much. Okay, so with that takes care of that. And then today's show has everything to do with content creation, but I'm not going into the how-to. I'm going into how do you know if you're giving it all away or giving away too much, or kind of pretty much in that status where, I don't know if this happens to you, but I see it. It's a rampant thing where people give it all away on a challenge or don't kind of restrain themselves from giving it all away. And then what happens is that people say, awesome, thanks. Okay, thanks. And then they leave and they don't buy. So if that's happened to you, there's a very good chance that you're giving it all away, right? So we're going to talk about that and just how to fine-tune that, right? How to restrain ourselves from quote unquote giving it all away, feeling depleted, feeling like, my gosh, what else is there to give? I've given it all away, and how much is too much? So all these things are what I'm covering on today's show. It is a solo show. It's just me. And if you enjoy this show, do not forget, and I ask you super nicely, if you wouldn't mind heading on over to iTunes and giving me a testimonial for the show, a ratings and review. That helps me tremendously to keep spreading the word about how you can position your business to profit, because that's what I love to talk about. So I got you. I'm here for you. Let's go ahead and get started with this show. Hey there, I'm Patty Dominguez. You're about to discover what it means to position your brand and your business to stand out. This show explores the stories of small business owners just like you who are bringing their message out to the world and impacting their tribe. So if you want to take your business to a category of one status, then hang with me, because this podcast shares everything you need to know about how to be more prolific with your brand so that you can have more profits. All right, awesome. Thanks for being here. And you're here because you may have been suffering from what I call overgiving. Overgiving, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm giving away too much of your content. I know that sometimes there's concerns as content creators when we're putting our content out there. Maybe we are giving away too much, or we're feeling frustrated that you maybe host a challenge, or you do an email challenge, or any kind of these challenges that we have, or putting together content in whatever, a lead magnet, some kind of content upgrade, something that you're giving away for free in exchange for an email so that you can start that conversation and build KLT, know, like, and trust. So one important thing to note is, while it's important to establish credibility with your marketing, I really love the concept of giving things away. For example, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm going to be entertaining this whole concept of doing or I should say hosting an open office hours, an AMA. Or, for example, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing on Clubhouses, there are experts that are giving away just golden nuggets in such a giving way that they're really helping people. Well, the cool thing there is that they're establishing authority. The cool thing there is that they're giving and really creating a new conversation as it relates to a problem that somebody may be having. And so from a dramatic demonstration standpoint, it is a great great way to build authority and to stand out because you're giving away these nuggets. Now, here's the difference. How many times have you been in a situation where you put together, again, a challenge or some free content that's out there, or you're doing these challenges in hopes that at the end of it, you pitch your product, service, coaching program, group program, whatever it is. And then you come to find out that people walk away saying, thank you, this was amazing. You gave away so much. Thanks. And then they don't buy. And then you're like, what in the world? Like, I literally just blood, sweat, and tears this whole thing here, and I'm not making any sales? How is this even fair? Well, the fact is that you can give your content away as it relates to creating the ability to be clear in the messaging that you can help your premium prospect to solve a problem. Okay. And how you solving a problem has everything to do with you relaying to them that unique proprietary system that you have to create the transformation. So, you know me, I'm all about positioning to profit. So what that means is that by anchoring your messaging to that particular proprietary system, that means that that prospect can only get that transformation through you, right? So we got that notion down. That's clear. But what happens is that sometimes we give it all away at a macro level. And what we don't want is anybody walking away with a false sense that they have everything they need. That's a disservice. You're actually hurting someone. And so one of the best tips that I got from a former mentor of mine once upon a time is that he said, whenever you're introducing a concept, make sure that you're teaching why it's important, what does it mean? So kind of defining something. But people really do have to pay you for the how, right? So you can speak at a macro level around different kind of concepts. Yes, you want to give these tips and tricks and things like that, but you don't want to give it all away. And what you want to do in order to ensure that you're not giving it all away, you also want to make sure that they understand, oh, by the way, you're also going to have to know how to do X, Y, and Z. Okay? I'm going to say that again in a different way. Let's say that, for example, I can talk to you about how to position to profit. And I can also tell you that one of the things that's really important to do is to sell a system of transformation, okay, that unique process. Now, me talking about the creation or the creating of that unique process is really critical. And again, the idea behind that is to establish a credibility that A, I don't know what I'm talking about, B, I'm also giving somebody a really a key tip, right? Meaning when you have that unique system or unique proprietary process in place, you can stand out. You've made yourself unique in the marketplace. Now, the fact of the matter is, as part of positioning, you're also going to have to know and have an intimate understanding of the market research side of things. You'll have to understand the different key components to positioning, so that without a doubt, you are standing way apart. I also have something that I call the checkmate move. And so when you have all of these key components in place, you have all of the key components in your positioning so that you have an ironclad way of standing out. So one of the things that's really important, again, is to make sure that people understand that when you're giving them a piece of something, also let them know what else is included that they don't have. And while you're not giving the how or the infinite ways of that you can help them with, you do want to point out all the things that they're still going to need. Okay? So it would be no different than, say, for example, I can help you to create a funnel, right? A funnel that sells a system. So I can talk about the key components of a funnel. So for example, having a sales page, and then you have your order page, and on the order page, you want to have an order bump. And then after that, if you really want to have an upsell number 1, upsell number 2, and a thank you page. So I just gave you the high level architecture of a funnel. And then I could talk about why it's important to have an order bump, right? That a percentage of people, no matter what, are always going to take it. I can talk about the example of like have an upsell, talk about the kind of upsells that work, and talk about the conversion rates of a good upsell, et cetera, et cetera. But it would be a disservice for me to be like, yeah, there you go. That's all you need. And in fact, what they really are going to need is to have an understanding of copywriting that converts. They're going to have to understand how to add pixels to their Facebook page so that they can retarget. They're also going to have to understand proper fulfillment and having the right technology in place and having all of these little things, the loose ends, that if I were selling a course or a group coaching on how to set up your optimal funnel, that's what I would be pointing out so that people are not walking away thinking they have everything they need. So I hope that makes sense. So when you are talking about what you do, give high level concepts, talk about your unique system, anchor back to your unique system, talk about these little kind of slices, right? Like a little center cut of something that you can give someone, but also let them know what they're also going to need in order to make it complete. And what they're also going to need to make it complete is the reason why they would hire you. Okay, so it's kind of a distinct thing. And this is a way that you can ensure that you're not A, giving it all away for free, and B, really showing them, uncovering that gap in what they want to achieve. And the way to fill the gap is to hire you, your program, your coaching, etc. So I hope that makes sense, because that is a really big thing where I'm seeing that people are over giving, right? They're just giving it all away and then wondering why, nobody's buying the coaching program. The other way that people are overly doing it is where they're giving it and then not pointing out, oh, you're also going to need XYZ. When you do that, it's a disservice. People are walking away thinking they have everything they need when in fact they don't. And that's what's going to kind of hurt your credibility a little bit, because it's your responsibility to make sure that people really have that full understanding, right? If you're going to be giving a suggestion, you don't want somebody walking away saying, okay, got it, when in fact, they don't have all the pieces to it, right? All the pieces to the puzzle. They only have some of the puzzle, but not the full puzzle. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope that you understand that there's a way to provide that content, to provide the guidance, but also recognize that they need you, right? They need you to connect all the dots to build the full puzzle, to have that full transformation. And again, you are the gap filler. You're the one that's going to make it happen for them. Okay, so with that, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out the business workshop I have going on right now. Head on over to positioningtoprofit.com/Trinity. And don't forget, I'm also hosting an open office hours, AMA, Ask Me Anything. That is on February 25th at 4 p.m. Central Time. All details will be sent via email to those people that opt in for the workshop. And I hope to see you there. And as always, let me know how I can help you position your business to profit even more. Thank you. And don't forget, your message matters. Thank you so much for checking out the Positioning to Profit podcast. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new episodes. And also, it would mean the world to me if you would take a quick moment to leave a rating and review on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcast player. It really helps to get the word out about the podcast and, of course, the featured guests. And lastly, please make sure to connect with me on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, I'm on all of them, and use hashtag positioning to profit so that I can search you out and connect that way too. All right. Thanks so much. See you next time.